headed to the Midwest, baby.
That's exactly why we do it.
20 years. This is actually my 20th year. As we sit here and say this, no, it's 21st year as we sit here. No, it's still 20th year. In a month, it'll be my 21st year on TV. Anyway, you know what I haven't done, Tim?
Hunted in Michigan.
No, I've hunted in Michigan.
Oh.
I've just never killed anything in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever killed anything in Michigan?
Plead the fifth.
Left me speechless.
I want to incriminate myself here.
Oh, okay.
Has nothing to do with hunting.
Oh, okay. He's never harvested a deer in Michigan.
No.
Never.
Never had a Michigan license or anything.
Gotcha. Well, I finally got a buck in Michigan.
Did you see?
Actually, I didn't.
Did you see a lot of deer? Was you in a blind?
I
Was you with an outfitter?
Well,
Was you with a friend?
the story goes on. So it happens in the
I'm asking
field.
questions.
So let's go to Michigan with Blaine. Well, what I'm not going to do is show you the next 3 days. Why? It's just me sitting in the stand, seeing nothing. A doe here, maybe a spike there. But basically, it's kind of like sitting in a stand in my backyard, sitting in Maine. I'm not seeing a thing. Anyway, let's move on to the second to the last day of my hunt. Well, it's been one of those mornings. Decided to drive myself out without the landowner's help so we could park much further away and walk a long distance. I am sweating. Thank goodness for the heater bodysuit. It's right down there beside me, because if I had to dress for this cold, it's 40 degrees, which isn't bad. But when you have to walk, I don't know how long, mile or so to get to the stand, it's a poke. So, got the heater bodysuit. It is the second to the last day of the hunt. And I decided to just change things up. Maybe we're scaring deer, we're parking too close, so we decided to hike in this morning. So so I got lost. If any of you have ever been with me personally, you know that's pretty normal for me. But I just climbed up in the stand, and you can see there's all kinds of shooting light. So not the best morning. But some of my most awesome hunts is where everything went bad in the morning, and all of a sudden 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, a buck comes out. So we're just gonna sit down as soon as I cool off. Gonna slip into the heater bodysuit, and we're going to rock it. It doesn't sound good. We're going to, I don't know. Someone else needs to run this show that's a better talker than me. Well, I'm just sitting there watching these does, and I just happen to glance down to my right, and bam, there's a buck. And after a really long week of seeing nothing, let me tell you, this buck looks good.
Hitsquad Outdoors is brought to you by Expedition Archery, Element Outdoors, Tachicam, Scrape Fix, HHA, Deer 30, Scent Assassin, Black Eagle Arrows, Conquest Archery, Timber Creek, Plot Masters, Vortex Optics, and Sniper Blinds.
It's right here, right at this moment. This is the moment I realize that this is not a shooter. He turns around and looks at me, and I'm kind of looking at this, and I'm like, he's definitely a 2-year-old, and all I can really do is sit there and watch him at this point. We have had non-stop action this morning. Had a couple does come in. We've seen does off in the distance. I don't know if we can even get those on film. They're just moving through the trees. I look down and there's this buck to my right. And I'm like, that is a shooter. He comes out and I'm just playing cat and mouse, and you know the way your mind works when you're hunting. And I'm just going shooter, shooter, shooter. I gotta get up. He's 5 yards from me on the right. Knock on, look over, and it's a 2-year-old. The one thing the landowner does not want us to shoot, a 2-year-old. So we had to just kind of sit there and watch them forever. Yes, yes, this is the way to start a morning. Now we just need a 3-year-old or older to come in and do the exact same thing, and I will stroke them. For those of you that like watching real hunting, when Blaine's hunting, because that's all I do, yes, if I was in my backyard in Maine, I'd have stroked that deer. I'd have showed him to you. I would have showed you. I would have had my outdoor edge, cutting them up on my dinner plate. But this is someone else's property, and I obey by their rules. Definitely a 2-year-old, and by the way, stud 2-year-old. You know what he's going to look like next year, and that's why he doesn't want me to shoot him. And he's got plenty of deer, so I don't mind letting him walk. My backyard, yummy. Nothing in the buck world, just so everybody knows. I know you're waiting for the 3.5s and 4.5s. There's nothing in the buck world that tastes better than a 2.5-year-old buck. Maybe a 1.5-year-old buck, but you double your meat, triple your meat for just maybe a little bit of tenderness. A 2.5-year-old buck is the yummiest thing on the planet. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna sit down, be quiet, wait for phase 2. As you can see, my attitude has changed. I am jacked up. We just need an older buck to show up. That's it. He can have one spike on one side. If he's 3.5, I'll kill him for you, and I'll eat him for you. I'll show you the whole process. So I'm picking bark. Well, we spent the entire rest of the day hunting all afternoon, and we didn't see anything but a couple does and even a little spike. Well, now we move on to the last day. I spend the next morning in the same tree. I see once again a couple does walking off in the distance and a couple small bucks. I essentially see nothing. So now we're gonna move on to the last day because I gotta catch the flight the next day. What we're gonna do this time is we are in fact gonna move. I give up. I don't feel like I'm gonna kill a buck in this tree. So the landowner suggests we move to a place I would never hunt. It's a turnip field, and it's a ground blind literally sitting in the middle of this turnip field in the wide open, a spot I would never choose in a million years on all of this property. This is not a place that I even really want to sit, to be honest with you. Okay, if you want to stop a deer in the middle of a radish slash whatever is in here, this is what will do it. He'll walk along, and wherever he's going, he will stop, and he will absolutely smell whatever deer was there. So, you saw this morning. I mean, nothing. This is the thing, you can't really predict when deer are gonna come. It was like freezing this morning. It appeared to be perfect morning to go hunting, first freezing morning day. Nothing was moving. We saw one like little fawn that was bedded close to where we were sitting. That's it. So we've had reports, and I have seen pictures of this turnip and radish field. That's exactly what this is. And I guess this is where all the deer are. Now, I gotta say, I'm not that experienced, but this seems a little ridiculous with a bow. It's 100 yards that way, 100 yards that way, and 100 yards that way. And it's wide open. Why on earth would a buck come within 30 yards of this ground blind? I do not know. But I've been told if I want to shoot a deer, being it my last day, this is my last afternoon, my last sit, then I need to be in this turnip slash radish field. So this is where we are this afternoon. Yes, I have a good attitude because I know I'm going to see deer this afternoon. It's super early. Don't expect to see much for another few hours anyway. But I want to get settled in. Again, feels insanely ridiculous, but I can just envision how awesome it would be if I killed a deer out here. Like, it would look like a real TV show, whitetail hunter type deal. But I did it, which means anybody can do it. So, yeah, we're going to kick back. We got lunch. We got supper. That's 2 sandwiches and lots of bottles of water, which will create empty bottles of water that we can refill again. You know what I'm saying. That dude came on a string. Came out here about, I'm gonna guess, 25 yards. He's probably, might have even been a little bit closer. I was kind of getting him at 25, 28. Stopped. I shot. My mind's eye, I gotta be honest, like it looked like it went like under the backstrap, one of those no man land, why am I whispering? One of those no man land shots. I was convinced of it, especially when he ran away and then he stood over there. I'm like, he doesn't even know he's hit. Then he fell down. I was like, I can't wait to see where that shot is. I mean, my mind's eye really thought that was very high. I thought he would die, but I thought I like clipped the top of his lungs, which I did not, because there's no way he drops right there just clipping the top of the lungs. They can run a mile when you clip. I'm freaking out. This has been a long week. You've watched this show. I didn't think it was going to happen, and there's some neighbors over here, and people were coming in, and they were actually saying, you got to go to that. What kind of? There's radishes and turnips out there, and you got to go to this radish and turnip field. So I came out at probably 11 when I left this morning, when you watched this morning's hunt, and I looked at this field. I'm like, it's humongous. You can't kill anything in there. And so I said, you know what, there's a ground blind over there, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get lucky. We abandoned the tree stands, and the reveals were catching this buck we were trying to get called Booger. I don't think Booger's that big. Well, he might score, but I don't know. Who cares? I think the giant in Blaine's world. I know all you guys, I come to the Midwest, and you guys shoot these fat 180s, shoot 10 of them a year. I don't even know how that happens. I come out here, that dude right there in the real world, for everybody watching. Actually, this is going to be my point of the week, because you know I get freaked out and the adrenaline's flowing. I just want to yell at people. For everybody that's watching, this is a real deer. This isn't fantasy land where people can kill 180-inch deer week after week after week. That is really fantasy land. It's truly for the normal guy like me. I'm a normal guy. It's not achievable. That is achievable. That's a real deer. And I know that 99% of the people that watch my show are going, that was a giant, because that was a giant in Blaine's world. He's all of 135-inch 9-point. I mean, I am telling you. Look, we're filming each other right now. I got the Tacticam rolling. Man, I'll take good pictures, since I know that buck is right there. Don't have to track. Don't have to whisper. Don't have to do anything. And what's funny is he, I don't know if you noticed, but he stopped right where I sprayed that Conquest. Stopped right there. And boom, down he goes. So he ran 40 yards, turned around and said, what was that? And then doof, died. No kicking, no nothing. Down. That was, God, that was awesome. Oh, let's go get that deer, slide out of the heater bodysuit.
Here we go.
Probably not as quite as high as I thought, but I'm guessing that arrow dumped on the other side. He is an absolute beast. Beast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, exactly what I counted. I'm going to, he's a little messy. If you ever watch my show, I got nothing but love and respect for these animals. So what I'm gonna do is get him propped up, get him cleaned up, give him the respect he deserves. I'll get him in a pose where he looks like he's incredible. He is, I'm gonna take that back. He is incredible, not make him look like he's incredible. You know what, TV show guys, we like the long arm stuff like this, make things, but he is I'm gonna say he's 130 inches. He is the perfect Blaine buck. 3-year-old, I don't think he hit 4 yet.